Hello everybody. If you've ever seen an Avengers movie, besides the first one, you probably heard the discussion of Hulk's character. He kinda sucks. It doesn't feel like the Hulk. The Hulk in the MCU feels like just another character to have in that big ensemble at the end. And everybody's been quite mad about it, saying they want the old Hulk back. The one from 2008, which brings us to this movie. The Incredible Hulk, while well received at its time, was one of the honestly less talked about Marvel movies for a while. It rivaled Thor in popularity. Then Ragnarok came and Infinity War, and people started loving Thor a lot more outside of the Avengers movies, which is really interesting. The Hulk was one of the only popular Marvel characters before the MCU. Yes, Marvel was bankrupt. The others being Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men. Which you might think is a lot, but you have to remember, Marvel was a whole universe created in 1939. 60 years worth of comic book characters, and only 4 of their big names are popular in the public eye by the year 2007. With Hulk being one of those franchises, you honestly ask yourself, why did the MCU make one movie of him? Well, simple. Universal and Disney. The Incredible Hulk was made at a time before Marvel Studios was owned by Disney, and the Hulk, to this day, is owned by Universal, which only allowed them to include him in other hero movies, but not make a movie about the Hulk. Which is why the only one that was ever made was The Incredible Hulk. Also, the Russo brothers despise the fucking character and treat him like a fucking bitch. So how good is the only Hulk movie? Actually, pretty fun. But this movie is, kind of weird, honestly. The movie starts off with this really weird opening, and it just screams straight to DVD. It essentially tells you the origin story of the Hulk. You know, the government experiment gone wrong, dangerous monsters created with epic hero music and no dialogue. I'm not kidding. This seems like a game trailer for the Xbox. The first one. Anyway, in the actual beginning of the movie, we meet Bruce Banner. He ran away from the government and is currently staying in Brazil. He has learned ways to control his anger and works at a soda factory. He's also talking to this guy called Mr. Blue in order to try and cure himself from whatever he's suffering. Anyway, the entire movie happens because Bruce accidentally cut himself in the soda factory, and one of his gamma-infected blood drops may possibly get into the soda bottles. But luckily, Bruce smears it off and makes sure— Holy fuck! How the fuck did Bruce Paranoia Banner didn't see the clear as fuck bloodstain in the bunch of clear glass bottles? After this incredible display of blindness, General Thunderbolt Ross is reported that Stan Lee found some gamma radiation in his soda bottle. How did he feel the gamma radiation in the soda bottle? Well, clearly you don't know that in LEGO Marvel Superheroes, Stan Lee has all the powers in the game, which means he can detect these types of radiation. Ross gets a crew together to hunt down Bruce, which includes Emil Blonsky. He'll be important later, and very much later too, but that's not the point. So these guys find Bruce in his house, forcing him to run away. Unfortunately, he runs into his mortal enemies, the Brazilian assholes. These guys piss him off, and Bruce wakes up in Guatemala. Okay, no, he turns into the Hulk, beats the shit out of everyone, and in one night goes from Brazil to Guatemala. Don't ask me why. Anyway, somehow this man makes it to Virginia without being detected. This is the second time he's crossed the border as a fugitive, by the way, Jesus Christ. But he reunites with Betty Ross, his former girlfriend, and daughter of the guy who's hunting him down. She also has all the information he needs to get to Mr. Blue in order to formulate a cure for himself, which is why Bruce is in Virginia in the first place. While this is going on, Blonsky gets a small gamma treatment and everybody goes to fight Banner. A huge fight scene happens and man, this is the shit. Yeah, the CGI looks 2008, but it's still pretty good for 2008. Anyway, Bruce runs away with Betty and makes it to New York. Again, how is he traveling if he's a wanted fugitive? I don't know. Stuff that happens. Anyway, he finally meets Mr. Blue, otherwise known as Samuel Stern. Bruce undergoes a procedure to subdue the Hulk, at least temporarily, and after this he realizes that Stern cloned his blood. How could this possibly happen? How could Stern commit such atrocity to another human being? Oh yeah, Bruce is shot in the back or something, but that's not important. Bruce and Betty are captured, but unfortunately for everyone, Blonsky became a real big fan of gamma radiation, so he forces Stern to give him some of Bruce's blood, becoming the Abomination. Also, Stern gets some of his blood in his head, but it's not like there's a sequel to this movie because, well, there's no Hulk movie, and, well, Samuel Stern is, from the comics, spoiler, the leader, and there's no way they would use him for something else, right? Anyway, Blonsky's running wild through Manhattan. You know what? This might actually be an improvement for New York standards. So Bruce jumps out of a helicopter and turns into the Hulk to fight the Abomination. Something this movie does really well is the action scene. You can feel the violence the Hulk delivers stronger than in honestly any other movie. Hell, I think the only one where he really compares is in Avengers. Abomination is defeated and the Hulk runs away. Before the end of the movie, Tony Stark himself, yes, that guy, visits Ross at a bar asking him about the Hulk, because he and some friends of his are putting together a team. Who are these friends? Why is Tony putting together a team? I guess we'll have to see in Iron Man 2. Incredible Hulk is okay, above average honestly. This movie, in my opinion, is heavily carried by the action. The plot is fine. The intro, though, has to be one of the most low-budget things I've seen in Marvel. The long and short of it is serviceable, but really good action. Overall, I give this movie a 7 out of 10. Patreon, subscribe to the Patreon, I need money. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Yes, the Patreon is in the description. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.